it's working out pretty well. This is obviously not ideal, but it's working, and my drop spindle is coming in the mail, and so I have this really nice bat, but because I don't know how to spin yet, I don't really want to go straight into that, to be honest, because I don't want to like make shit yarn with it, like completely shit yarn, and I know that I'm going to be making like some shit yarn for a little while. So I am coming to my scrap yarn collection, which is finally coming into pretty good use. Now I have 2. This should work fabulously. These are just dog brushes. I don't really have the money right now to buy hand carders specifically for yarn, so I'm kind of just using what I can access. I think this is right. I should mention that I am completely making this up. This changes everything. This is so... What a wonderful way to use your waist. Like... That's fucking crazy. It's like breaking apart and kind of seeing like the first form of what we buy in the shops, and it's really cool. This is also really quite exciting because, you know, a lot of this has just been sitting in my bag, my scrap yarn bag, for like a year, and they're just gonna get reused and be able to be used for other pieces, which is really so exciting. So my drop spindle that I bought online is literally coming on Tuesday, probably like Tuesday to Friday. It's coming next week, but I am so fixated on the idea of spinning that I like literally cannot wait until then, and so me and my boyfriend made a drop spindle. Which honestly I could have just done from the start. But I am excited to like see the difference between spindles and what makes them different. But this, like, I literally was just spinning on this to practice. It works a treat. I made it out of all the scrap yarn that I carded the other day. This is very exciting. a psycho killer.
Yeah, you are actually.
Psycho killer! Niddy noddy! I made that. I made my own niddy noddy.
So I'm going to come down to the next arm, up to the next one. Used to always start it with a slip knot.
Okay. It's on. I'm gonna tie all the bits with some yarn. I'm just kind of tying these based on like how I've seen the ties look on hanks that I've bought. Kind of scared because like once it's off, it's off. Okay, she's very curly, but I don't want to ply it this time because I really want to see if I can make this work as like single, like keeping it as a single. Hi, editing Dordy here. Okay, so I'm lazy and impatient, and I didn't want to ply it because I am really obsessed with the idea of spinning singles and not plying. Because I don't like thick yarn, and I really want to, my goal with spinning is to be able to spin like really thin yarn, like really thin, but that's difficult and something that I have to spend many months perfecting, and so because this was my very first spin literally ever, I span it way too tight, like the twist, there was way too much twist. So it was curling like you just saw, and curling in a bad way, not in like a normal way where like when you hang it to dry it will like straighten out the curls. It was just so tight, and so I washed it. I did none of this on camera because I was stressing. So I washed it and then hung it to dry, and I was like, it's too curly, it's way too tight, it looks so bad, it's not going to be usable because it's so tight. So before it dried, this is so unorthodox and not really like the way that this works, but I was like, I need to fix it because I want to try and at least use this. When it's too tight, it like kind of coils, and that's just no. It's just a big no from me. And I was not happy just leaving it because it's my first spin and I wanted to actually use them. So I basically I respun the whole thing in the opposite direction like you would for plying, except I didn't ply it. Looking back, I definitely could have still plied it. But I unspun the whole thing and basically just loosened the twist throughout the whole yarn, respun it. It broke a few times, and so I ended up having 2 hanks. It was a mess, it was a hot mess, but it worked out, and I learnt a lesson the hard way, as I usually do. I'm a deep end kind of person, what can I say? Alright, back to the video. That's my first yarn that I've ever made. I don't know if it's too loose now, the twist, but it's not too tight anymore, which is really more important to me. So yeah, I'm gonna wind it up and call it a day on this one and use it for something just for myself. I don't know how strong the yarn is itself, so I'm definitely not going to use this in a piece to sell. And why would I want to anyway? I want my first spun yarn to be something that's for me, so I can always remember that this was the very first bit of yarn I ever spun. My little baby, my little baby, my little baby. Wow. You can also see what sections that I was starting, like where the beginning was, and then when I was starting to get more comfortable. But that's a cake of my yarn. I made that.